friends, I'm Kat, welcome to the channel and today's weekly vlog. So we're doing a series of videos where we're going through quite a few prompts from the hardest reading challenge you've ever done. Bingo boards here. We have a lot of prompts to get through and we are very rapidly approaching the end date of this. I don't really anticipate finishing it on time, but basically what we're doing is we are pulling random prompts from a TBR jar I have and reading books that correspond to that. So we are starting off this week. I did pull 2 prompts and I already pulled them, just kind of getting my life together. Don't have them with me at the moment. They are somewhere in my house. But basically we are reading a book with an orange cover, which I decided to go with Daddy Issues, and really excited for that one. And a book with gay representation, and I have the audiobook for Heated Rivalry, so it feels like a perfect time. So we are diving into today's video. I am intensely excited to get to this and just so excited to hopefully read a crazy amount. We're doing something a little different this week too. We're going to challenge ourselves extra hard because I want to get through even more prompts this week and make a much bigger dent on the TBR that I have to date. We're going to be reading 600 pages a day, a little challenge for that. And this is also as a thank you for 600 people subscribing, which I am so incredibly happy that we've hit that, and thank you to everyone for subscribing. Feels fantastic. There's been like 0 growth on here, so it feels so nice to have hit this many subscribers. So yeah, we're going to be doing 600 pages a day, which maybe will translate to 1 to 2 books a day, and hopefully will help us get through as many of these TBR prompts as we can. I will be diving into that very soon. We also have, which I need to go do, I went to a book market and I have a little haul of things. So I'm gonna go downstairs now and I'll show you guys what I got at this book market. Okay, so it's actually been a few hours since my last update, slash just the intro. And I've read a little bit, but you know, decided I should finally come in. First, we're gonna do a little haul of the things I got at this bookish market I went to, which I just love. I love going and buying like cute little knickknacks. So this is just like a little decoration for my shelves. I like the pink, I like sunflowers, they're my favorite flower, and I thought this was super adorable. It's actually made out of pipe cleaners, which is really cool too. So like just a cute little crafty thing to go on the shelf. Next, I got a few bookmarks. So this one, you know, crocheted little book thong. Basically you just put it like this through your book and it ends up working as a bookmark. Very cute. Kind of funny. I think could be very cute for my like smutty books. Then this is a lilac bookmark that's crocheted as well. Thought it was really pretty. Could be very nice for summer months. And then a little just spooky bookmark, just some ghosties, and it says reading in peace. I am kind of planning on doing Summerween this summer, and I wanna, 1, would like some cute little decorations for that. 2, I always love having cute bookmarks and spooky things. I use them year round. And then I also got a book sleeve, which is also kind of spooky. So just little skeletons and flowers, which I thought this would be very appropriate for me. And also like, I love having these to put my Kindle in as I like even just go to work or travel, anything like that. It feels like a great protection. And I think this size could also fit most paperback books, which I also like traveling with these. So that was just my tiny little bookish market haul. And like I mentioned, I have done a little bit of reading. So started Heated Rivalry. I am 10% into the audiobook. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it for sure. It's very similar to the show, which I do need to preface and say, I watched a couple episodes of the show, did not finish it. I liked it a lot. I just don't finish TV shows. It's really hard for me to stay focused on something, and pretty much all of my energy for that goes towards books. I can't keep it going for a TV show. It's either I'm watching it with someone or I watch it all in one go. Otherwise, I will not finish the show. So yeah, 10% in. Very faithful to the book so far, or to the show. Or I guess the show has been very faithful to the book, however we want to word that. And not too much has happened. We're just seeing Shane and Ilya just kind of being mutually attracted to each other and kind of dealing with that. And then I did also get a decent chunk into Daddy Issues by Kate Goldbeck. This is one I've been really excited to read this. I think she's the author of, I don't know why I always like stare blandly at my shelves hoping I can find a book name. One, I can't see very well, and two, usually my like organization is a mess, so I don't know where anything is. Do I own this book? I don't know if I even own it, but she wrote a book that I enjoyed, and that has made me excited to get into this one. It's interesting. I feel like it's romance, but it's almost leaning more like women's fiction-y, I guess, which I hate seeing that as a genre, but it's more like literary fiction, I guess we could say. So we have our main character, she named Sam. She basically during the pandemic was in university, I think she had just completed her master's and was signing up for like these different fellowships and stuff, but because of COVID a lot of it got canceled. She really like had nowhere to go, so she moved back in with her mother, and all of these things that she had lined up for herself just kept getting pushed back to the point that she kind of ended up being like irrelevant within this art world that she was trying to work within. Got to that point where just so many years had passed that a new cohort of people started taking these opportunities. And now here she is, 5 years past the pandemic start, and is still living with her mother and kind of just not really doing anything with her life, trying to find a job within her field, but at the same time cannot find anything. Is thinking of joining like new PhD programs, can't get in anywhere, and just really like not sure what she's doing. So just kind of at a point in life where she is like, I would say like wandering aimlessly, not doing much, bartending, and really not living her life that much. In moves next door a single dad with a daughter, and they start getting close. She starts immediately getting attracted to him and like hanging out more and more with him and his daughter. It's going to be a romance between them. Shock. And a lot of it I think is going to be her kind of going through this journey of trying to become a proper adult, trying to get under this like crushing weight of the expectations she had for her life, and perhaps find something else to do. She does also have her own daddy issues, which involve her father basically leaving them when she's young. The only thing that really like they were able to bond over is comic books. So the cover of this book, very comic style, because she and her father used to go to like yard sales, flea markets, and try and find comic books that they could then resell for higher value. She also at one point got really into illustrating comic books, but then ended up not really pursuing that as a career, deciding to go for something more stable. So I have a feeling that that is going to be part of our journey, is her dealing as well with her daddy issues and maybe falling back in love with comic books. I'm really enjoying the writing. I'm really enjoying this. I think it's very relatable for so many people who perhaps spent a lot of their 20s aimless and not really knowing what's going on, what they're doing, and just this general feeling of being behind in life and like opportunities are passing you by. On the other hand though, main character, incredibly unlikable. I think that like I understand the depression aspect that she's kind of dealing with and just not really being able to like launch herself forward. But at the same time, she is very frustrating to read from, and it's like I want to scream at her to make better decisions, but it's just like this is where she's stuck, this is where she's at. So I'm definitely enjoying that. I'm thinking I might do a third pick from the jar right now, which is crazy because I'm thinking if I like to flip-flop between books. I really struggle to stay focused on one thing at once. That's why also like I film like 20, not really, I'm filming like usually 3 reading vlogs at once because I need to like constantly jump between things or else I get unfocused. And I can't really switch between like my book and my audiobook as much. Like audiobook is more of while I'm doing other tasks. Like I'm gonna be going for a walk tonight, so I'm gonna be listening to it for a bit more. But I think I need another physical book to read. So if that makes sense, I'm going to be playing another prompt. And I might not have explained it very well earlier, but this is our jar of prompts. We do have some more. I need to put a few more in here, but basically these are corresponding to all the HRCYED sub prompts because bingo board here, Each one of these prompts usually has like, I'd say between 5 to 10 books that you need to read for it. So we're breaking them all down in here and picking a book that corresponds to each one. So I'm gonna pick something next. And what colors? Let's go yellow. Let's go yellow. I see a yellow in here. Okay. God, I have no idea what this says. Oh, that's because it's upside down. So adaptation, a web series. And I need to reread this prompt because I read something for one of these adaptations in the last vlog and it wildly confused me. So I need to read a book that has an adapted webcomic that's based on a webcomic that's been a webcomic adapted to a book. Something like that. I think that's what it is. Because I did last time a play adaptation. So I read a book that was based off a Shakespeare play, which was a decent choice. Books are turned into movies, shows, plays, etc. all the time. You may either read the original source material or read/watch the adaptation. So I can read a webcomic or a web series, I guess, or read something that has been adapted or watch an adaptation. One thing I am thinking of immediately is I'm pretty sure, what was that Hades and Persephone series? There's this one graphic novel series that was originally a webcomic. I think that could work, but I'm gonna look. There's a Storygraph like challenge page for HRCYED, and I'm gonna browse through and see if there's anything else that maybe is standing out for me. Okay, literally like 5 seconds in, I found the best thing ever. So I did not realize that Dungeon Crawler Carl has a web series, and where we are right now, book 8 literally just released, and I've obviously been wanting to read it. I just have not had the time / haven't really known where to fit it in. So I'm gonna read Dungeon Crawler Carl number 8, which is called A Parade of the Horribles. This is quickly becoming like my all-time favorite series. I read all of it last year, binged them all, was really tempted to binge the first 7 again before book 8 comes out, but could not just fit it into my life. So yeah, I'm gonna read number 8, and that is a perfect option for this. So basically we have 3 books on the go: Daddy Issues, Dungeon Crawler Carl 8, and Heated Rivalry. I have no idea how many pages I've read today, but I will calculate that at some point and see where I need to be to get on track, or if I'm off track. I don't know. I'm gonna go read. I just got home for a walk, and I don't think I'll be doing any more listening tonight, so let's talk about where we are in Heated Rivalry, which, my quick math, I'm 32%. The book is 370 pages. We're gonna say I read 119 pages from it tonight, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Just very, very similar thoughts to what I had watching the show. But I do think this is one of those rare instances where I actually like the show better. Like, I think the relationships between our main characters actually like translated significantly better through TV, which is interesting. I don't always find that happens. And then also, and on the other hand, actually, one thing I'm really, really liking about the book is I like Ilya's perspective quite a bit. I like that we see more into his mind and how much he likes Shane, because I think that was something I was kind of missing in the show, is like, it was a little hard to tell exactly what each character was thinking aside from mutual attraction. So it's nice to see that they're kind of trying to fight feelings as well. I like that. So yeah, that's basically just my update for the audiobook. Still working on Daddy Issues. I want to finish that tonight. Haven't started Dungeon Crawler Carl yet, but basically we'd have I think I read about 150 of Daddy Issues and then 119 here. We're close to halfway through our pages. I'm gonna go shower right now and then keep reading. I don't actually know. I'll get these pages done for sure. I have no doubt about that. I'm not sure how much I'll update tonight because I am starting to feel a little tired, but I'll let you know if I hit the pages, and we should at least have 1 book done tonight. So I'm gonna go shower. And then settle in to read. Okay, let's quickly talk about what we did yesterday and where we're at today. So I didn't end up doing any updates at the end of the day. I could tell I was too tired. I was not in the mood to really like pop in and talk about anything, but we mostly got to our 600 pages. So ended up actually getting 567 yesterday. And I'm debating how I want to do this. I think I'm just gonna add to today, add 33 more. So we need to do 633. But we almost got there. And let's actually talk about what I read now. So I ended up finishing Daddy Issues by, I keep wanting to say Kate Golden. I think it's Kate Goldbeck. Kate Golden wrote some fantasy romance, and I think I'm confusing the two of them in my head. But I ended up really enjoying this book. I think that it was a very realistic view of a lot of people struggling in adulthood and that struggle to find your place and find kind of where you actually want to go in life, slash also this dealing with realizing that the expectations and goals that you set for yourself sometimes don't actually end up happening, and then you have to find a way to pivot in your life to something new, but then still holding on to this dream that you once had. That was pretty good. The only thing, like, I'm gonna give it a 4-star. The things that I think are holding me back from making it higher is I don't really feel like I understood the relationship between our love interests aside from mutual attraction. I don't feel like there was really anything else there that made me super like invested in it or really convinced that they loved each other. And especially like our male main character. I don't necessarily understand why he liked the female main character. Mainly just she was very unlikable. She, like, sure, young and hot, but then at the same time, she's also a mess. And I feel like that's very difficult to want to bring into your life, especially when there's a child involved. So yeah, overall, really liked it. I really liked the writing. I really related to a lot of things in it, but then there were still like some glaring issues. We mentioned, so that one, 314 pages. We mentioned Heated Rivalry. I did 119, so it was about 32% of the audiobook. And then Dungeon Crawler Carl 8, which is called A Parade of Horribles. I keep getting this name so messed up in my head every time I try to talk about it, but I read 134 pages. And like, I don't even like, it's kind of hard to get into the plot of this one now in book 8, where basically there's an alien invasion. All the survivors are now forced into a game show where they're basically fighting in a D&D style arena where they go through different levels of a maze. Very briefly, that is what it is. We're on, I think, level 10 of the dungeon now. And we're following our main characters as they try to survive. This one, it is involving, like, they're all in race heats and they're racing against a bunch of other people in randomized vehicles. And if you come in last place within these race heats, you die. So we're still kind of just getting into it. I will say this is probably one of my all-time favorite series already. And there were moments last night where I was cackling to myself while reading it. So I'm definitely invested. I'm definitely like really enjoying it. And now it is day 2. So today we did just finish up work. Listened to, I think it's actually another like 35% of Heated Rivalry. So we can say I did like 130 pages, something like that. I'll calculate the actual number later. But we listened to another good chunk of that while I was working, which was fantastic. And then at lunch, I did read some more of Dungeon Crawler Carl. I think I did like another 50 or 60 pages. So we've partially made our way through. We've made some progress, but we still do have quite a bit of reading to do, which is perfect for the evening because I did just pick up my cat from surgery and I really want nothing more tonight than to like cuddle with him and just make sure he's okay. So I think that this is the perfect opportunity to just read nonstop for several hours. So we're gonna be, I don't know if I'll be listening to more of my audiobook. We'll see. Definitely going to be doing more Dungeon Crawler Carl. And I guess I should also go pick out a third prompt and figure out what I want to read for that. So I'll go do that now and then settle in for the evening of lots and lots of reading. Please ignore like how much of an absolute disaster the rest of this room is. But we've done our 600 pages and I'm going to quickly talk about that before finishing off the day. But like I mentioned, 130 of Heated Rivalry. Really want to finish this tomorrow. Want to finally have another book done. I feel like it's such a quick listen too that I can so quickly get through it. Dungeon Crawl 8, I did 162 pages. Enjoying the story. Like, I really don't have too much to say about this one either, aside from like, I really deeply love this world that we're in. I love the characters, love following everything, and all of it I just find so good. And then I did pick another prompt. So this is, I don't even know if you can see it, but it's to pick a book that is recommended by Q, the host of HRCYED, and it is to pick a book that was recommended in one of her reading vlogs. I did have one set aside, so perfect for that. It's called The Circus Infinite, and I'm really unsure how I'm feeling. I did read 314 pages. It's about 500 total, and I think I am interested, but something about the writing is not like connecting for me. So this is a sci-fi, which is a big part of why I wanted to pick it up. Also seems to be one that's not as popular. Also why I wanted to pick it up. But we're basically following this futuristic world. There's travel between planets, there's aliens, there's all these things. And we are following a main character who is half human and has recently escaped this institute where they were basically kept to develop these telekinetic powers that they have. And they got away, and basically following this, like, I don't even know what to call it, like a crystal thing that like guides your intuition, basically told him to go to this circus and that he will be safe if he goes there. So he joins the circus. It is full of like all kinds of different acts, interesting things, and he joins in with them and becomes part of the group. Also starting to do like really cool things with like this telekinetic power he has to lift acrobats as they are doing their act, and he's just kind of becoming one of the performers, establishing a life in there. But also it seems like he is running away from his past, from this institute that was experimenting on him and all of these things. I think I like the premise of it more than the actual story, and I keep my interest is like very much ebbing and flowing. I think it's definitely like longer than it should be, because this book, it is 500 pages. I don't think it needed to be, and definitely my interest is waning at points. But we did make very, very good progress. It's a quick read, so that helps. That will help us get through many, many things. So with that, we're just going to check off for tonight and come back tomorrow for a brand new day. It is day 3. I don't know what that was. Mid-morning. And I've already made like so much progress, so decided to come in and update and pick out a few reads. If you can hear my cat meowing in the background, he's recovering from a dental surgery right now, and I think the pain meds are kind of like hitting him a little weirdly, so he's just been meowing nonstop. And I am, as soon as I finish these updates, just gonna go cuddle with him because I think that's what he's really, really wanting right now. So right now, what have I done? Oh, I listened to Heated Rivalry this morning and finished it, which I knew I obviously didn't have a lot left to in it. I had less than a third, and it was a very short audiobook, so thankfully was able to get through it pretty quick. And I expected to like it. I did really, really expect I would enjoy it. Just based on what I had seen of the show, I had a feeling that I would get invested. Did not expect that I would get intensely emotional and almost start to cry at the end. And I don't even know, actually, I know exactly what it was. It was that our main characters were expressing this vulnerability and finally being able to express what they want and start to get to a point in life where they feel peace about what they actually want and what they're getting. And it felt like all the emotions were just bubbling up in me. And because I just got so intensely emotional, I'm giving it 5 stars. And I mean, it was objectively a very good book, but I do tend to like, if I have a very emotional response for me, it does kind of boost the rating maybe a bit more than I would have otherwise given it. And I was like fully in tears as I was listening to it. So that really, really was good. It does make me want to go back and maybe finish the show. I think I watched either 2 or 3 episodes, and like I said, I enjoyed it. I don't really watch TV ever, so it's hard for me to really stay focused on a show. And I do want to read the other books in the series. I really want to hear Scott and Kip's love story. I'm really, really invested in that one. I'm invested in seeing more of Shane and Ilya, and I'm just really excited. Also, just as an aside, one thing I love about Heated Rivalry too, Shane obviously is from Ottawa, where I live, and just all the references to Ottawa, fantastic. Also, a lot of the book, it takes place in like the 2016, 2017 in Montreal, which I lived there at that point. And there's just a lot of things that was like making me feel intensely nostalgic, and just like really, really like that definitely also impacted me emotionally. I think is just having those personal connections made me feel even more involved with the book. So that one's done, and I think I ended up doing like another 100 and something pages towards it. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'll figure it out at some point today. And okay, I also finished the Circus Infinite, which it was fine. It was fine. I don't think it really like got deep enough for what I wanted, or like got into as many things as I was hoping it would. So basically we have this fugitive. He's kind of on the run because he had been experimented on for many years because of these telekinetic powers he had. He'd been experimented on for years because of this telekinetic power he has, and then ends up finding his way to this circus where he kind of like finds a new family, a new home, and something happens where he basically tries to keep everyone safe. Overall, decent, science fiction-y, and I think like, again, there's interesting ideas, and just a lot of them weren't explored to the level that I would have hoped for. And there's a lot of things that like plot points that maybe didn't go anywhere. Like just overall, I kind of come out of it like not really feeling much anyway, and just kind of like it wasn't super interesting. There was a lot of interesting ideas, and then I don't think that too much happened with them. I also would have liked a lot more world building. Like I feel like parts of it were like sprinkled in here and there, but it didn't really get to the extent I would have hoped for in a sci-fi. And that's just kind of me personally. I think as stupid as it sounds, I like a hard sci-fi. I like a very, very well-developed, really intense scientifically, and really like well-developed sci-fi. So I just like having like major information all the time about these worlds that we're in, and it just kind of didn't deliver on that. So I'm gonna give that one 3 stars, and I'm glad I read it. I am glad. Now we get to pick some more books. I think I'm just gonna pick 2 more. I was debating if I wanted to pick 1, and now that I don't have an audiobook going, because I'm still continuing on Dungeon Crawler Carl, I read like 30 pages of it today so far. This is one I am purposely taking my time with. I'm not rushing it, and I'm probably going to be reading it throughout like most of this week, just because I'm enjoying it so much, and I want to like continue it as much as I can for as long as I can, I guess. I don't want to be done and then have to wait for new book to come out. So yeah, I think we'll pick 2. So let's go in. I never picked from the side. Let's do that. There's a little blue. And what does this say? Oh, okay, so another Q rec, and this one, a TikTok reel or a short. So again, Q, the creator of HRCYED, has quite a few recommendations out, and I'll just have to browse all of their like TikToks, reels, everything, and find one that I want to read. So I will pick a book and come back later for that one. And then next option, let's do another deep in the side kind of one. What's this? Is this one or multiple? There's so many mixed together. I'm just gonna pull the outside one out. And this is Women's History. I think I read a book for this already, because this was, we were doing representations. There's a prompt for different months of celebration of different identities. I'm pretty sure I read a nonfiction book that I counted towards this and then didn't pull the prompt out. Let me double check. Yeah, so I read Ask Me About My Uterus and counted that towards this. So this one, just one I had not pulled out of the jar yet. So let's make another selection. And we will go whatever I'm touching here. Which is there a word on this? Rainbow green. So something with a green cover. And I'll also go pick something out and I will come back and update you guys on what I'm reading for these and just the rest of my progress for today. So off to go do some reading. Okay, so first thing I need to say, very honestly, I failed my pages yesterday. I'm also not gonna make them up because I don't have time to, but we had finished two books, and then pulled 2 more prompts. So I'll say, I know the math, I know the total I read is 484 pages. I forget the breakdown, I'll have it on the screen. But I read 70 more pages of Dungeon Crawler Carl, and then we had pulled a prompt for a book with a green cover. And for that one I picked, it was a short book. I kind of thought that I would hit my pages with finishing this, but it's called Maggie or a Man and Woman Walk Into a Bar. It's only 200 pages, and I think this had been, I broadly want to say maybe a book of the month pick at some point because I had it on my TBR for some reason and something about it had captivated my interest. I don't know if it was just the title was kind of weird, or I even find like something about this cover like just kind of really captivates my interest. Yeah, but it's only 200 pages, so I like fully planned. I was like, I'm gonna finish this and I'll be good. And I didn't actually like do the math until this morning when I was kind of checking it out. I was like, no, I'm wildly off the pages I wanted to have. But this is basically just a short literary fiction about a couple. They go to a bar and the husband reveals that he's been having an affair with a woman named Maggie and that he wants to end the relationship. And the story is just very much a little story, like a short glimpse into the wife's life after she and her husband decide to get divorced. She gets diagnosed with cancer and she is also trying to figure out custody and how to now raise her children alone. It was written in a very like fragmented style, like it almost felt like little vignettes into this woman's life and things that are happening. And it like in some ways I almost feel like 200 pages was too long for this. Like I felt like it could have definitely been more of a short story and or slightly more of a novella, and it kind of dragged on, which is crazy to say for something this short, but it definitely felt like the story dragged and that there were several points where it felt like we were just grasping at straws of something to continue on with. It was also like, it was very stream of consciousness. I don't mind that. It just weirdly was stream of consciousness, but also felt like we didn't like see as many insights into the person's mind as I would have liked, because a lot of it, like, she's just telling us what's happening and not really diving too much in her inner turmoil, I guess. Like, it was fine. This was fine. I'm glad that it wasn't like super long. Like that definitely helped read it faster and keep my interest, because like weirdly, again, like my interest was ebbing and flowing like crazy while reading this. Finished our book for a green cover. Today we are starting anew. Tentatively, I would like to finish Dungeon Crawler Carl today. I don't think I will, but tentatively I'll say that. For the prompt that we picked for a rec from Q, I ended up going with The Drowned Ones, I think it's called. That was nowhere close. The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. The Bone Houses. And this is one I've read from this author before. I've wanted to pick this one up for a bit, so we're gonna do that. And might as well pick a third prompt. Yeah, I don't know. Like I say I want to finish Dungeon Crawler Carl. I have no idea if I will, but we also could just make a ton of progress in the Bone Houses or whatever this one is. I don't know where I'm going today. It's going to be a mess of a day. Pink. I guess we're going to do pink. Okay. Okay, so what does this say? Alphabet F. If you can read that. So just a book title that starts with F. let me go peruse and I'll come back at some point with updates and let you know what I picked. Hey, guess what? Yesterday was a fail, an absolute fail. So we're coming in, I'm gonna say like I read 0 pages. I maybe read like 5. We're gonna say 0. I'm not making that up today. We're starting afresh today and going for 600 pages. I am going to be mildly switching it up because I did pull my 3 prompts. The one for alphabet that starts with F, I am going to do Forget Me Not by Stacey Willingham. But today the focus is going to be on reading 2 books that I'm just going to find prompts that they fit into. I realize that these are getting returned very, very soon to Libby. So we're going to be reading Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McCogney. She was the writer of Wild Dark Shore, which recently has been so popular. And I'm also going to be focusing on House City by Kate Golden, which is a like Demon Hunter Academy type book. Both of these due very, very soon. So I'm going to be reading them. I will find something that they fit into. And yeah, that's gonna be the plan. There's definitely, I'm pretty sure I can finish Once There Are Wolves. It's about 300 pages. We'll see about Half City, but the goal is to read most of, if not all of these books. And then we will have all of our 600 pages. So I'm gonna start on these and then I'll come back. So I've started Once There Were Wolves and I'm conflicted. Like, I really am not sure if I like this author, and I'm having the same issue because I previously read Wild Dark Shore by them and it's such a popular book. Assumed I would love it because it is so popular, and it really deals with like stuff to do with the environment, like sci-fi about the environment. Not even sci-fi, but like eco-horror, eco-future. Just things about climate change and the environment. And like in some ways, I am finding this interesting. We're following a woman. She has this ability where basically she feels other people's feelings. So I guess more sensations. So if somebody like cuts themselves, she feels it. If somebody's in pain, she feels it. Somebody's in pleasure, she feels it. And she has been very fascinated with wolves her entire life. Her father is some weird like her father like lived in the woods, and she spent a lot of time visiting him and learning about the natural world with him, and through that developed a very strong interest in wolves in the natural world. And now she's become very much involved in wolf preservation and also reintroducing them into the environment. So we are following her while she lives in Scotland currently and is trying to reintroduce wolves into this ecosystem, while also the locals are very much opposing it. And we're following a lot of her life as she is experiencing this right now, and then her childhood, adulthood, and all of the years and things that have basically led her to this career and this point in her life. I find it interesting, but at the same time, I really am not a fan of this author's writing. I find that it just feels very clunky and detached. And I was really having that issue last time too, where it's like, I want to enjoy these stories so much more than I do. But something about the writing just like really just keeps me a bit away from it. And like, I'm very conflicted about how I'm feeling right now. But it's a short book, it's reading quickly, and we should have this done relatively soon. I like actually did a little makeup and got ready, and remembered I wanted to finish this video today. So yeah, I guess that's what we're doing. We're like nowhere near we have not filmed, or there have not been updates every single day for the last week, but to keep on my schedule, today we're done. But yeah, before we continue on to the next book, I'll just talk about finishing Once There Were Wolves, and then I do need to like get started on Half City. I'm gonna be like definitely rolling so many books over to next week, but that's fine, let's not worry. I ended up liking Once There Were Wolves so much more than I actually thought I would, and I think it was just I ended up finding the story incredibly interesting. And I still kind of feel the same way about like I didn't necessarily love the writing, but I was definitely super invested in a lot of what was going on. A lot of the story, it was like more shocking and more gruesome than I ever would have expected. And it really kept me like on the edge of my seat the entire time, because I was really just like so concerned about so much of what was happening, and just like 100% there with our character, because she witnessed some terrible things. And I think a big part of this book also was, so while we're watching this introduction of wolves back into the wild, and these things that, like, you know, wolves are hunting livestock and they're causing some mayhem in the wilderness by this community, we're seeing that and like the brutality that these wolves could potentially do, and then at the same time seeing this absolute like monstrous side of humans, and just seeing the parallels of the two of them, of seeing like wolves can kill, but they usually do it for food, versus these truly like terrible things that humans do. It was just it was just really something, really something. Yeah, I was just incredibly into this book the entire time, and I think this has definitely made me come around to the author, because I really did want to like her stuff, and I think that this one finally hit. So I like that a lot. I'm feeling very pleased about it. And yeah, this was for our wild animals prompt. Okay, I'm actually going to end off the vlog here. The rest of the day kind of got away from me, and I haven't made as much progress in anything. Haven't really hit as many pages as I wanted to for anything. So we're just going to start off a new vlog tomorrow and just do a regular reading vlog. Probably just a mood reading slash finishing books I'm currently reading type of thing. So thanks for watching this video. It was a disaster. Not really, I read a lot, but pretty much anytime I try to set a challenge for myself, I can't accomplish it. It does not fit into my life, but we tried. And thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'd love if you guys would consider subscribing, and I'll see you in something very soon.